This is a guide for M11S or Arcadian Heavyweight M3 Savage. The strats in this raid plan are based off of the Toxic Friends raid plan. I'm just going a little more in depth about how the mechanics actually work. An important note is that if I get something wrong, I'm making this before having ever stepped into the fight. I'm making this to help my static mostly, so if there's anything in this video that is wrong, please let me know, and I apologize. The fight starts off with Crown of Arcadian, which is a raid-wide, followed by Raw Steel Trophy. The boss will either pull out an axe or a scythe. For axe, it's AoEs. Tanks stack for a shared AoE, and parties spread. For scythe, it's cones, and it's the opposite. So tanks will spread for 90-degree tank buster cones, and the party will stack. Just stack south of the boss for this. For axe, the spread positions there's plenty of time here, and plenty of space as well. And just have it to where melees are sitting south of the boss, and the ranged are out. The boss will then cast Assault Evolved and summon 3 weapons. He will choose one weapon by facing it, and then he will go from that weapon to the next weapon clockwise, and then the third weapon clockwise. So he goes to whichever one he is facing and then resolves them clockwise. These are the same 3 weapons from normal mode, and they're resolved the same way with an additional mechanic. For axe, it is out, like in normal mode, and then party stack, so stack center. It is then scythe is in, which is proteans. They're clock spot proteans, but here we have them adjusted for caster uptime. So the caster and the off tank swap. So caster goes south and off tank goes northeast. And the melees and healers swap. So melees go east-west, and the healers go southeast-southwest. It's just a little bit easier for caster movement because they can really struggle with this mechanic. And for sword, it is a cross, just like in normal mode, but this time with light party stacks, group 1 left, group 2 right. For the proteans and for the party stacks, they are both boss relative. The boss will cast trophy weapons again, summoning the 3 weapons, but he won't pick one yet. He just summons them for now, because first he is going to do Violet Stardust. Everybody stack north to bait AoEs. There will be 3 sets of AoEs dropping on everybody, so be sure to stack tight, and then the entire party just move around the boss clockwise. 1, 2, 3. On the third hit, or as the third one is coming down, everybody will be marked with either spread markers, or one person will get a stack marker. For stack, just keep rotating clockwise. The mechanic kind of resolves itself. For spread, just make sure you get out. There's enough time after the AoEs go off, and for melees, you might have to wait a little bit or hop out of melee range for a second just to dodge, but these are the general spread spots: melees in, ranged out. Important to note that there are telegraphs for these AoEs, so you'll know if you're too close to somebody. It's not like it's untelegraphed AoEs, so you have to spread extra far to be sure you're not accidentally standing on somebody. There are telegraphs, it's easy to see. While the boss is doing the last hit of Violet Stardust, he will look at a weapon. This will be the first weapon he goes to, and then resolve the mechanic the exact same way. Sword, light parties, in cone, or in proteans, and then out stack. After the last weapon, the boss will cast the opposite version of Violet Stardust that we saw the first time. Because we know which one it's going to be ahead of time, we can handle this a little differently. If it's stack, handle it the same way, just rotate clockwise around the boss and then stack. If it's spread second, we don't actually have to worry about rotating around the boss because we don't need to all be grouped up at the end, so ranged, you can just go ahead and get out. Melees, you can still move around the boss clockwise so that you can all keep uptime while you're dodging AoEs and then doing the spread. The boss will then cast Dance of Domination Trophy. He will hit the arena a few times and then create 6 lines on the ground. These lines will explode in a minute, or in a moment, along with 2-player stacks. So you need to stack with a partner in one of 4 safe spots that are left behind. The way we're going to resolve this is by finding New North. New North is just going to be the side of the arena with the cardinal direction of the arena with 2 intersections. In this case, it's on B, west, or east, sorry. Split up in the safe spots, melees close, ranged far, group 1 left, group 2 right, relative to New North. The lines will hit 2 squares away, 2 of the small squares away. This is the safe spots without players, just so you can see the safe spot a little easier. If you go just inside the marker for the melee safe spots, you'll be safe. The boss will then cast the opposite version of Raw Steel Trophy. Again, this one is always opposite of the first one, but he will still pull out the weapon and you can see it. The boss will then cast Charybdistopia, setting the party to 1 HP, and engulfing the arena in lightning, some storm. That doesn't matter. What matters is that the boss is summoning the same weapons as before, but this time he's going to summon them one at a time. He's not going to summon all of them at the same time, and he's going to do it 6 times. The first 2 will not be on cardinals, but the last 4 will be on cardinals. They'll be on the markers here. Resolve these the same way that you do the other, or the first set of weapons. They're the exact same, it's just 6 of them, and you have to pay attention to which one is next. Just make sure you know where it is and which one, which weapon it is. So 1, 2, 3. For these last 4, they're on cardinals and they will leave behind a twister. When these twisters go off, they will hit the nearest 2 players with 90-degree proteans. So we need to bait these away from the center of the arena, but we have to do that after all of the weapons go out. Once all the weapons go out, go to your twister. These are just color pairs, or you can think about it like collapsing in clockwise. So in this case, Monk and Paladin are both blue, so they will both go to the blue twister. Or, if in this case, Monk just rotates clockwise until they hit a twister, so they will be south. Again, these are 90-degree cones, so just be sure you're not baiting them like directly left and right of the twister looking in, because then you'll clip one of the adjacent twisters. The boss will then cast One and Only, which is a raid-wide, and now engulfs the arena in flame. The first mechanic after the arena is inflamed is Great Wall of Fire. This is a shared line tank buster that explodes after and happens twice. That sounds like a lot, but it's really not that complicated. The important thing here is that the tank in front will get a firevuln. So unless you're invulning this, which Dark Knight can invuln this one, but there's a second one that you won't be able to invuln. The tank in front gets a firevuln, so afterwards we have to swap. But remember to dodge the explosion of the first hit, so just rotate clockwise 45 degrees and make sure that the tank that wasn't in front before is in front now. The boss will then cast Orbital Omen. This can be kind of a tricky mechanic, and it does happen twice, so this is usually where most of the deaths or damage downs are going to come from. 4 pairs of portals will spawn on north and east. And these will cleave 1/4 of the arena respectively, or each. The boss will also hit in a cone in front of and behind him. So main tank, bait the boss north for this. You can move as soon as the Fire and Fury cast bar starts, but just be sure he's baited north to keep the cones always in the same spot for your team. Pay attention to where the first intersection is, because that will be the easy safe bait for, or safe dodge for the ranged players. Melees, you can do like a double dodge for a little more uptime. There's another video guide out there that has a good representation of doing the uptime dodges that I will link in this raid plan and in the description of this video. So all 4 portals will come out, and then the first set of portals and the boss cleaves will go out at the same time. For ranged, again, it's super easy no matter where the first intersection is. You can always just dodge into the first intersection. For the second one, or for melees, I recommend watching this video, which again I will put in the description. It shows a foolproof way to dodge this every time in melee uptime. So dodge the cone cleaves and the portals, and then dodge the portals again and again and again. Meteor Rain starts with the boss targeting the 2 closest players for meteor markers. There will be 3 sets of meteors in total, so we will have 6 meteors, but we only want 3 at the end, and we will deal with that as this mechanic resolves. There will also be a wild charge light party stack that happens at the same time the meteors get dropped. This happens 4 times because and we need to destroy meteors with this light party stack, but the first one will not have any meteors baited by the time it goes off. So we have the first set of baits. Melees go in. The order for baiting is melee, healer, ranged. Melees will go to northeast and southwest to bait and drop their meteors. Group 1 goes north, Group 2 goes south. The rest of the party will stack in between these two on north, so on northwest. Be sure to have the tanks in front because, again, this is a wild charge. The way we're going to have this mechanic look at the end is that we want to have a line of meteors on southwest. This is what we're going to dodge behind at the end of this to dodge the big raid wide. If you don't have 3 meteors to dodge behind, you will die. Because of that, we're going to destroy the meteors on the north side. But we're destroying them with the light party wild charge. But because this one we don't have meteors placed yet, the tanks will take the wild charge instead. The second baits happen, so healers go into the boss, and at the same time that the baits are happening, tethers will target the meteors that just dropped. Tanks intercept these meteors, or intercept these tethers. These are treat them as tank busters. The rest of the party go ahead and get ready to stack behind the north meteor. The prio for tank tethers is maintain clockwise from north, off tank counterclockwise from north. As the second meteors are being dropped, the light party goes off, destroying the north meteor. And again, for south here now you can start to see it a little bit. We want to drop the meteors in a line, so the southern healer will drop their meteor behind the southwest meteor dropped by the melees. When you hit a meteor with a light party stack, it will explode. So be sure to dodge that while you go in for the third baits. Ranged go in, tanks intercept your tank busters, and the rest of the party go in and get ready to stack behind the northwest meteor. Ranged, bait your meteors, or drop your meteors, and party, resolve the light party behind the meteor, tanks, resolve your tank busters, and then dodge the final meteor explosion, grab your final tethers, and destroy the final meteor on north. Dodge the explosion of that final meteor and get behind the boss as he casts Triple Tyranny, hitting 3 times and destroying 1 meteor each. If the meteors aren't lined up, they'll all get destroyed at the same time because the meteors also have to hide from the explosion with a meteor in front of them. It'll hit 3 times, and if you did it perfectly, the meteors will get destroyed one by one, and you will be left safe after all 3 hits. The boss will then cast Flatliner, which is where he splits the arena in 2 and knocks everybody away. Split Group 1 west, Group 2 east, like normal. The boss will cast Majestic Meteor, summoning 2 sets of portals on north-south. These will each cleave half of their respective safe side, or of their respected side of the arena. And they will always hit on the same side of each side. So in this case, they're hitting the right side. The boss will also summon 4 portals, 2 on either east, or 2 on east and 2 on west. They will either be close together like they are in east in this example, or far apart like they are in west. These portals will tether to 4 random players, 2 on each side. The boss will also summon 4 towers. These towers knock back and need to be soaked by 2 players each. So everybody has to get on a portal regardless of if you need to get knocked back or not. Everyone get ready to take your tower, but you have to make sure that if you are a tether player that needs to stretch their tether to the other side, that you jump across. There will always be the same number of jumps that need to happen, so you don't have to worry about having 5 people. There's no adjusting needed to be done here. After the jumps go off, also, if you're not taking a jump to the other side, just take the tower north and south. It'll just knock you to the other side of your current platform. After the jumps go out, untethered players go inside the boss hitbox to bait prey markers. These are baited on the 4 nearest players. So tether players, be sure you're not inside the hitbox. While you're baiting these, use clear body language to show if you want to go north or south. This isn't important for the baiting itself, but it is important for what we're doing right afterwards and how to resolve the mechanic in the end. After the baits go out, everybody stack east-west to bait 3 sets of AoEs. This is just like the Violet Stardust, except now we're split. Move north and south with your partner along the edge of the arena. Everybody knows which direction they need to go because tether players, you have to go opposite your portal to stretch your tether. Non-tethered players, well, you just body language to show which direction you're going to go. So move with your partner, 1, 2, 3. After the third hit goes out, now we resolve the tethers, the portal AoEs, and the prey markers. The portals will cleave half of each safe side, so be sure to dodge that first. Tethers go out to the wall, stretching your tether and hugging the safe side. Or hugging the safe side, or hugging the unsafe side. Non-tethered players, if you are on the close side, which is east in this case, always go to your number marker and stand on the inner corner of your number marker. This will keep you from getting hit by the tether meteor, and it'll keep your tether player from getting hit by your prey marker. If you are on the far safe side, look at the portals on your side. If you are on the side with far portals, like portals far away from each other, bait your line AoEs in the middle. If you are on the far safe side and you have close portals, like east is in this example, stand on the marker just like you would if you were on the close safe side. So you resolve it the same way 3 out of 4 times, but 1 out of 4 times you will get the pattern that West has here with the Astro and Dancer, having to bait them in between the portals, because you just make sure you are dodging the portal AoEs and not clipping anybody with your line AoEs. Afterwards, group mid to heal up, and the mechanic repeats one more time. The boss will summon portals, tethers, and towers, and resolve it the exact same way. You might not be on the same side that you started on, but that's okay. Just the order of operations is the exact same here. After the second round of Majestic Meteor, the boss will cast Massive Meteor, summoning 4 portals, or 4 towers, and hitting each side for 5 hits. These are light party stacks. They don't hit super hard. And I'm unsure exactly how it baits, but I believe it baits similar to how Fru AoEs bait, or Fru Phase 5 AoEs bait, where it's baited on the left and the right side. After the stacks finish, after all 5 hits of the stack finish, pay attention to which direction the boss is facing. The boss will pick up that side of the arena and slam it down on the other side. So if you're on the side that he picks up, you will die. That's what the towers are here for, because if he looks at your side, take the towers and jump to the other side. Here he's looking east, so the players on east will take the towers and jump to the west side. The players on west will just take the towers north and south so they can stay on their platform. The boss will pick up that half of the arena and look at either the left or the right on the current safe arena, safe side of the arena, and slam it down. If he's looking to the right, dodge left. If he's looking to the left, dodge right. You might have to pop sprint here, depending on which tower you ended up taking and where it ended up taking you to. Pop sprint just for safety. It's free to use here. The boss will then cast another Crown of Arcadia raid-wide, and the arena will go back to normal. Be sure you're not on the very edges of the arena, because the arena does extend during this phase, so it has to shrink back down again. There are AoEs that remind you of this, so it should be pretty easy to see. The boss will cast another Great Wall of Fire Tank Buster. Resolve this the same way as the first one, unless you invuln the first one, in which case you can't invuln this one as well, because we need invulns for the last mechanic of the fight. The boss will also cast another Orbital Omen. Resolve this the exact same way. You can do the uptime dodges, or the super safe dodge in the first intersection dodges. Again, watch the video I have in the description or in the slide for the first Orbital Omen. The boss will then cast Ecliptic Stampede. For this, the boss will target 2 of the 4 furthest players to bait markers. For markers. He will mark 2 faraway players, I guess. Melees stack on the boss so that you don't get marked. Ranged, go out towards your corner. As long as you're out, it's fine. But try to go to a corner. Here I have group 1 left, group 2 right, DPS north, healers south. The 2 marked players need to move away from these proximity flares that are spawning. They always spawn in opposite corners, so the marked players will always have to go opposite of each other. Stay on your side, north and south, unless you have 2 people on the same side getting marked. In this case, if Astro and Sage get marked, since they're both south, the Sage will move north because they were the one that is on the side with the proximity. The Astro, since they're already away from the proximity, they don't have to move. The Sage does need to move, so they will be the one that moves north. It works the same as if this happens on north side, just whoever is on the proximity needs to move. The boss will drop 6 sets of puddles and AoEs. The marked players will drop puddles, which leave behind a lingering flame, and the rest of the party will get AoEs baited on top of them. For the group in the middle, bait the first one in the center of the boss, and then move north, and then move clockwise around the boss. For the marked players on the outside of the arena, just move towards where the proximity flare is going to go off for the first 4, and then double back for the last 2. You don't want to cover up the corner of the arena here because we need to go there to stretch tethers later. So, first baits, second baits, the party goes north, and the marked players move across the edges of the arena. 3, the party starts going clockwise. 4, 5, the marked players double back, so move in and then start going in the opposite direction. 6. After the 6th AoE and puddles, the boss will summon 4 towers. Marked players do nothing. This is easy for you now. Everyone else needs to look to see which tower they need to go to. There will be 2 tank towers and 2 partner towers. The prio from north clockwise is main tank, off tank. So off tank gets the clockwise or counterclockwise tower, main tank gets the clockwise tower. And then healers and ranged will get the clockwise shared tower, and melees will get the counterclockwise shared tower. There's plenty of time after the last AoE goes off to get to your tower, so you don't have to worry too much about like dodging a bunch of AoEs and running to your tower super fast. There is time. After the towers go off, 4 random players will get tethered to a wall, a portal on each wall. To stretch these, we want to go across from our portal and then clockwise into the corner. So for Reaper here, Reaper needs to go across, so to the east wall, and then rotate clockwise into the corner, so they will go towards the 3 corner. When everybody stretches their tethers, everybody else needs to group up mid. You can go ahead and start body languaging mid to one of the enter cards for what is about to come up next. You will have the bait either into the enter cards or east-west, so just go ahead and start body languaging and pre-positioning for these baits so that everybody has plenty of time to know where they need to go. Because it's random, it's kind of messy to do a prio, and it's easier to just use eyes and figure out who's going where. So the boss will cast either 4-way or 2-way Fireball. 4-way Fireball is 4 lion AoEs that need to be shared. 2-way Fireball is 2 lion AoEs that need to be shared by 4 players. These AoEs are baited on the nearest players. So for 4-way Fireball, the 4 nearest players, which would be the players who were middle and did not have tethers, bait them on the enter cards so that your tether players are already in them. Tether players you can move in, but just make sure you're not dodging. So again, for 4-way, the middle players will bait to the enter cards, and the tether players will make sure that they are still in the line AoEs here. For 2-way, we need 2 people to bait. So make sure you have 2 people inside the boss hitbox, and the other middle players just go slightly outside the boss hitbox. This is just to avoid 2 players on the same side being the 2 nearest players. Tethers just collapse north and south to get into the east-west cardinals here. This is followed by a Crown of Arcadia raid wide, and the puddles on the outside of the arena have already started to dissipate by this point. The last mechanic of the fight is Heartbreak Kick. This is a long multi-hit shared tower. It's a stack tower. This happens 3 times, and you don't really have enough MIT to just party stack all 3 of them, so we have the tanks deal with some of them. For Dark Knight, Living Dead is pretty free here, unless you ended up using it for the last Great Wall of Fire, which you shouldn't do. The timing on it is pretty tight even for Living Dead. The towers from first hit to last hit is pretty much 10 seconds. So for other tanks, because the timing is a little stricter, it can be hard to catch all of the hits in your invuln. So if you have a paladin or a warrior or a gunbreaker invulning one of these towers, have your other tank go in and share the last hit with them, or make sure that the tank is in there when the invuln is falling off. If nobody's in the tower, like if your tank dies and then nobody gets the next hit of the tower, you'll wipe. So everybody pay attention, or tank pay attention, and watch your co-tank's invuln timer, and then join them just with short mits like Ablation and Sheltron. Oblation and TBN is more than enough if you're a Dark Knight joining your Paladin. The order that we are going to solve this mechanic is having Dark Knight soak the first tower with Living Dead, Paladin soak the second tower, and having the main tank or Dark Knight join in for the last hit. And then for the third one, I recommend kitchen sinking it, but you can also party meditate here, and everybody just use every mit they have, feint, addle, everything. Just use everything. This is the last hit of the fight. Because the next mechanic is Heartbreaker, and that is the enrage. I hope this helped, and if you have any feedback or comments, or if I got anything wrong, please let me know. Thank you.